You may or may not have heard of ManyChat and chat funnels, but what you have likely seen is a post on social media that has said DM the word X or comment the word Y to get the link or to find out more. Reducing friction for your customers and making it easy and convenient for them to buy from you is key. And using chat funnels, and we're particularly going to talk about ManyChat today, is a great way for you to do this. And I'm joined by the ManyChat queen, Mel Eilers, and like I said, we're going to talk about ManyChat and the benefits of using it, how you can use it for your product business. Mel, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Now, I'm really excited about ManyChat and chat funnels, which makes you sound a bit like a geek, to be honest, but only because I've recently seen some other people using it and using it really, really well. So before we go into that, can you introduce yourself, who you are, and what you do?
Sure. Thank you for having me. My name is Mel Eilers, and I'm a ManyChat messenger marketing expert and agency partner. So, I have worked on the ManyChat platform now for about 4 to 5 years, I'd say. Quite a long time before everyone else has started to latch onto it, which has happened a lot more in the past year. Absolutely geek out about chat marketing and conversational marketing, and that comes really probably from my history way back in print publishing many years ago now. But that is always, the conversational marketing has been with me through my entire career, and to what it's become now, where I build chat funnels, or chatbots as they're also called, into the Instagram platform for clients, for product based businesses, and for coaches, for them to get more sales and leads and engagement from their Instagram content.
Amazing. For people that are maybe dubious about chat funnels or don't really know that much about it, what's the benefit of using something like ManyChat?
So ManyChat is worth obviously saying this right at the very beginning. ManyChat is a Meta Facebook business partner, 100% approved. So in the same way that you plug your Shopify into Facebook, you can plug ManyChat into the Meta apps as well. So it is 100%, it's 100% allowed. And obviously, whenever you work through the Meta platforms, there are issues of compliance, as exactly as there is on the organic side and the ad side. There are compliance issues as well, or things to know when you run chat funnels as well. So a lot of people think of bots as a bad thing, which is probably why I tend to refer to them as chat funnels. So you can't spam people. There are so many rules that you need to abide by when you are building, but it's there. All the rules are there of compliance is all to protect the user. So it's worth certainly pointing out that it is 100% allowed by Meta. And there are so many things that you can do. So essentially, you can plug it into the back. I talk about Instagram a lot because that is where I think it's probably where my heart lies. I know it's where a lot of product businesses get their traction, but it's also worth noting that you can build on Facebook and into Facebook Messenger, and it is an omni-channel platform. So you may bring them into your funnels on Instagram, but if you gather their phone number, you could then retarget them on WhatsApp, because you can also build into WhatsApp as well. So the omni-channel marketing is very much about meeting the consumer where they are.
Yeah.
So very, traditional marketing methods of bringing someone into your funnel. They go into a landing page, they go to a shop, they buy something from you, they get targeted, retargeted, and engaged via email. Chat funnels are designed to complement that. Really, they won't replace that, but it's very much about engaging people where they are. So for Instagram, for example, if you wanted to give away something, or you wanted to highlight a new product collection, etc., you may very often say link in bio. But that journey for the customer is really, really hard. It's not easy. It doesn't sound difficult, but actually for the consumer then to go to your bio, to find that right link, to click on that link, maybe it's the right link, maybe it's not the right link, and then hopefully take your intended action. It's quite a convoluted journey. Whereas if you get them to comment on your post or your reel or your story with one word, that's all that they have to do. They're not doing anywhere as near as much of the work as they are when they're going to link in bio. And that takes them directly into your DMs, into their DMs rather, where the automation takes over and it gathers the information from them, whatever it is that they need, the name, the email, and it can send them a discount code. It can add them to an email list. It can showcase them, send them to a say for a link for a new product launch that was exclusive. There are so many things that you can do. It's about working out the strategy that is right for the brand, essentially.
And so focusing purely on product businesses then, what kinds of things have you seen that have been successful, or the kinds of things that you think product businesses could use chat funnels for?
So one thing I have seen work really, really well, and unfortunately it wasn't a client of mine, but I have seen product-based businesses do an Instagram live where they are showcasing a new fashion range, like an autumn collection, or a new product range, a new stationery range, or something like that. I have seen it. It's for fashion that I saw it for. And where they are showcasing the new products and the models are showing them off, and they are saying there will be a discount code to this new collection, so they carry on watching. They don't give out the discount code in the live. What they do is give them a keyword in that live, which Instagram Live is a trigger for the chat funnel. And sort of halfway through the live or towards the end of the live, they give out that keyword. That keyword then goes into the comments. So people are commenting for the keyword, and then that brings them into the DMs, and they are delivered a discount code that is only then valid for, I think it was I did take advantage of it. It was only until like the end of the day, or a 4 hour window. It was quite small. So you had to see the live, you had to comment on the live in order, which is then building up the traction for Instagram. It's very much playing to the algorithm for reach and engagement. And then they are delivering this discount code, but it is only valid for a certain amount of time. And the comments that I saw on that, it was a few months ago now, were phenomenal. But there are many ways that you could use it as well. I mean, it's talking about the triggers. There are so many ways that you can trigger Instagram. So you can trigger it via a post, a reel, a story. The new reveal sticker where you have to type a word to reveal an image, that will also trigger it as well. Just by normal keywords into your DMs. Instagram Live is another one. So there are all the different entry points of the Instagram platform could possibly trigger your automations. So another great one for product businesses is especially for those who get tagged in a lot of unboxing videos, which I imagine happens a lot for product-based businesses. It's the most simplest thing that you can set up, and it would just do wonders for your engagement as well. And that's to set up a story mention reply. So every time your brand gets mentioned in somebody else's story, um, they get an immediate reply, or you said a little delay, 10 minutes, 15 minutes later. And all it can say something really simple as, thanks for the mention, appreciate your support. It doesn't have to then go into a long funnel. It doesn't have to continue. It can do, but that is one way to really help a brand engage with the people that are tagging them in their stories, getting that thank you and an appreciation of the support, but the brand themselves are not spending hours in the DMs replying to all those tags, or missing them, or just being so overwhelmed by the amount of tags that they get that actually no one gets a response. So that, even then, from then on, you could continue those flows by the various conditions that are available within ManyChat. So you can then check to see whether they're following you. So you can say thank you for the mention, and then you can set a condition to see if they are following you already. And if they are not, you could send them another little message saying, we really do appreciate your support. Please do follow us. And that, by consequence of that, your following could increase.
Yeah.
So there's super exciting stuff. There's so much that brands could be doing.
And I think it's for the people that are listening to think about what journey do you want that customer to go on, and what action do you want them to take,
Mm,
whether it's sign up to an email, buy a product, follow you, whatever it might be. And there can be lots of different funnels that the customer can go off into depending on what you want it to do. And you can ask it to go, if they say yes to this, they'll go in that pot. If they
mm,
say no to it, they'll
yes.
go into another. And we were talking about quizzes earlier on,
Mm,
and how you can use quizzes on ManyChat as well, in quite an easy way, to kind of qualify
mm,
that customer to then give them recommendations, which I think is
yeah.
quite we always remember, or I remember, when I was much younger, reading those quizzes in Cosmo, going, what kind of friend are you, or what kind of that are you,
Yeah,
or whatever.
so did
And,
I. So did I.
and, so people enjoy doing that, and you can send them off in the different directions. And I think it's key to mention as well, and depending on where you're based, and I know a lot of Irish clients of mine, and if you're listening and you're in Ireland, that currently Instagram have
Mm,
removed the tag where you can tag the product in your stories, or you can make your stories and your post shoppable. So this is a great way to then be able to still do that and
yeah,
buy that, then, because so if you were talking about, like, your new collection or your new range, you can tag those products in Shopify, create a page for them, and then send the link to that page with whatever the comment is, DM new or DM autumn
yeah.
winter or summer, whichever the range may be. Or if you've got a sale on, or you've got specific hero products that you talk about all the time, that are your bread and butter of your business.
Mm.
So I think it's like, for people to think about, right, okay, what journey do I want that customer to go on? What do the end action that I want to be? And obviously I know people can work with you, Mel, to help create them. But it's an easy platform. If you're tech averse, it's quite an easy platform to use and to format as well, because I have used it myself.
It is. Yes, it is. And I think that's probably one of the reasons I went down with a rabbit hole with it several years ago, because I suddenly came across this platform that, could increase my engagement. It was a Facebook at the time, and Instagram launched, I think, 3 years ago now. So Instagram is relatively new. It is, I think, the platform that has developed a lot more, and certainly people are seeing a lot more traction with it. But it is a no code platform. It really is. So when you open up the platform, you literally have your message nodes and you link them one to the other. And then there are the like action boxes where you can check whether they've got certain tags. Very similar to an email system where you use tags to point people in different directions. You can use conditions, have they got this tag? If they have, they'll go this way. If they haven't, they'll go this way. But the fact that it is no code, it is really, you can build the most simple flows or the most complicated ones. But I've always found that simple is better. And I think, especially for product based businesses, what you essentially want to do is that you want to get them from the Instagram platform to buying your products in the simplest, quickest way possible. You don't really want to be sending them down this huge long conversation where they're constantly going yes, no. Or you don't need that. What you need them to do is to come in curious about whatever product it is that they're interested in, possibly answer a couple of questions on them, qualify them, make sure that that's the product they want, and then get them over to your website so that they can buy, or to that unique page that you've created for that product set. That's the way I see it. I very much see it as a simpler way to get people from the Instagram platform into increasing your sales and leads within your business in a fun,
Yeah.
personalized way.
And what are the key components of the funnel, do you think?
So certainly I think it's when I have spoken to people before, and when I build for clients, I build the flows so that they can be activated on virtually all the triggers. So if I build out a flow because it's going to be attached to a post or a reel, I will also build it out so that keyword works in stories and it works as a DM as well. Because I think it's really important that the way our conversations are going now is there's a people having a lot more private conversations in the DMs, and people may be seeing that their comments on their posts or their reels maybe aren't getting the engagement that they used to. But that doesn't mean to say that they're not getting them in the DMs, the kind of the private side that is not public facing. And I've seen this especially, and spoken to brands who, especially in the kind of the health and fitness arenas, where, say, for example, someone was talking about a new piece of fitness equipment or a new guide to weight loss, etc., etc. People aren't always comfortable publicly commenting, but they will send you a DM because no one else can really see that.
Yeah.
So certainly when you build, bear in mind about how people are coming into your Instagram account as well. So certainly build across all the triggers that make sense for your brand, and bring them in. Make sure that you are gathering their name as well. This does differ on Facebook actually, because we all engage on Facebook with our personal profiles. So when you build on Facebook, Facebook knows who you are automatically. But when you build on Instagram, you need to ask their name, because otherwise, I would be like, "Hi, socially sound," and it'd be like, "That's a bit weird," when my name is Mel, because not everybody uses their first name. So you gather their first name as well. So the personalization is really, really key, because then you know their name, and that is then saved in the system field, and it's there every time they come into they opt into another flow. The system already knows their name, so you don't need to ask again. And you can save information that's relative to that customer in the same way as you can in an email automations into custom fields. So should you need to recall certain information about these people, you know exactly who they are. You've got all that information there. So personalization is really key. Pivoting the conversation is key. Should they not wish to take whatever your intended action was, whatever you wanted they were coming in for, if they suddenly decide they don't want that, you have the ability to send them somewhere else and not just lose them or stop the
Yeah.
conversation. And the other thing as well, which is really, really key, is re-engagement as well, because people get distracted. We all do. Even if you're coming into a chat funnel that may be only lasting, 30 seconds, our attention spans don't always cut it these days. Quite often we'll see where someone has, you've asked for their name in order to continue, haven't done it. You can send them other messages up to 24 hours within a 24-hour period to get them to come back. So it's very different to if you are running ads, for example, and they hit your landing page and they don't buy, they don't take that intended action. Invariably, you're then relying on the consumer to come back to the page if they've remembered that they still want to buy your product,
Yeah.
or or you have to spend money on a retargeting ad as well. But within ManyChat, you do have that 24-hour period in which to send them a quick message saying, did you click through, or I don't seem to have your email address yet, would you still like to continue, or if you did click through, you did buy, what did you think of the website, what do you think, what did you buy? There's so many ways that you could continue that conversation in a timely way, because no one wants to be there for days, to gather more information, and also to gather feedback, to gather testimonials as well.
I was just about to
It's
say
again,
that,
it's
about getting
mm,
reviews and testimonials. And is it 24 hours after each part of that funnel, or is it 24 hours after when they first engaged?
it's 24 hours after they first engage. So this is what, when I was talking earlier about meta compliance, this is probably the biggest rule, is that you only have 24 hours in which to engage that person within the DMs, because ManyChat is permission based. And it's important that people understand that. So once they've come into your ManyChat account and they're in one of your flows and they're going through, if that flow finishes, if they're happy, they've got whatever they needed, they've signed up, they've bought, if 24 hours period has then elapsed, you can't then send them any other flows, or you can't contact them within the ManyChat platform, because that 24-hour period has stopped. And that is to prevent, you know, more unscrupulous people spamming them. So
Yeah.
the only way you can get them to come back in is by, they opt in again. So it is very much, the power is with the consumer. It is very much permission based. And I think that's super important.
And from a data point of view and measuring how effective it is, does it hold all that data on a dashboard?
Yes, so you can see the data within the flows that you've built. So when I build, I always split out the triggers as well. So there are various ways that you quite get into such technical detail, but I split out the triggers so you can see exactly how many people have come in via a story, how many people have come in via a post. And then through the actual flow itself, everybody goes through that same flow build, and you can see how many people have got to this message node, how many people have continued to the next one, how many people have submitted their email addresses, etc., etc. So the analytics are there, how many have been read, how many have been clicked, and you can also within the flows use some action boxes to mark as a conversion. So say for example, someone has come in and they have given you their email address, and that is a conversion for you, you can set up that action box to mark that as a conversion, and then you can see it on the dashboard as well. So yes, the analytics are there.
And then what about using it with your existing marketing strategy and how, I suppose we've covered that quite a bit, but is there anything else you can think of in terms of integrating it with your existing marketing strategy?
I would say, especially with the time of year that we are at, to think about how you can embrace ManyChat and DM automation on Instagram in the coming months to almost be a point of difference with a lot of other brands, because at the moment there's a lot of space in the DM for the taking. A lot of traditional marketing funnels are hit the website, hit the landing page, give an email address, buy a product, etc., etc. But there are so many different ways product-based businesses could be thinking about, how could I gather, how can I engage my following or gather more email addresses to build my list ahead of Q4 in order to maximize my returns when Q4 comes, especially. And I think, just to touch briefly on a strategy that I heard about last year around Q4 time, was a brand that absolutely embraced chat funnels. They started list building through Instagram, joining a VIP email list a couple of months ahead of what was going to be an offer around the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. And the list building was really, really successful. And then it came to that weekend, and that VIP list of people were nurtured via email. They were delivered whatever the offer was, but inside that email was another kind of extra offer where it said, keep an eye on our stories today. And one particular story will be an extra incentive to buy whatever product it was. And because you can do that, you can attach automation to just one specific story. You can set them to work on all stories or one specific story. So for that brand, their story views went sky high that day because everyone was looking for that one story that gave them the keyword to get that extra incentive. And apparently this brand reduced their advertising budget for Q4 and absolutely cleaned up in the DMs. So I think it's, for brands, it's really important to kind of think about how chat marketing can complement and engage and run alongside what you may be planning on the more traditional funnels as
Yeah.
well.
And I think, like you say, it's thinking, right, okay, I want one setup that's going to be for my emails or to get for my email list. And that will be this word or this phrase. And
Mm.
then I'll bring something in for new collections. And I'll bring something in for sale or promotion. And like you say, it's having something, because is there a limit to how many you can have live at one time?
How many chat flows? No. You can have,
Okay.
they can all be set live. Yeah, there's no, it's just, you just have to monitor obviously your trigger words and make sure that your
They're
trigger
different.
words are different for your different funnels. Otherwise you get in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a super exciting time for brands to be looking at chat marketing, especially in the coming months, about how they can increase their engagement on the platform. Because if they are a brand that naturally gets comments and DMs, they are, an ideal brand to look at considering whether chat marketing could work for them as well, to complement that, because it plays into the algorithm. You get more comments, you get more DMs, and all that is on platform, which, plays into the algorithm really, really well.
Yeah. No, I do. I think it's very interesting. I'm already thinking of a client of mine that I'm like, I'm going to text her straight after this and be like, "Do you use ManyChat? Because I think this could be really good." I don't think they do actually. But and how can people? I know you touched on a bit about what you do at the beginning when you first joined. How can people work with you directly?
So I build for clients. I do builds in certain ways. I do kind of an evergreen build where I set up and I build 4 or 5 different flows for them, and then teach them how to use it and hand it back along with templates that they can then manage themselves. I also teach. So for anybody who is wanting to learn, I'm actually starting next month. I'm not quite sure when we're coming out, but it's starting next month. There is a ManyChat course which will cover all of this if anyone wants to learn it for themselves, for their own brand, in order to take that forward as well. And for larger brands who have a lot going on, then I do work on a more bespoke basis if they need like a monthly retainer. But anyone can email me. It's mel@sociallysound.co.uk, or on Instagram it's socially_sound. Catchy.
And and we'll put the links to all of that, including the course that is starting in September, is it? Or is that going to be an evergreen program?
No, that is no. The first course, it'll be the first cohort, is starting on September the 15th, hopefully, and that will be to. It is a beta course because I've run various bits before, but every time I reorganize it, so it will be for those who want to learn how to implement ManyChat for their brand or for their own accounts, but do it in a strategic way so that all the bells and whistles are included and you understand exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Thank you so much, Mel. I've found it very, very useful. And like I said, I'm going to be straight onto the phone now to some clients. I will be back again next week with another great guest. And if you've enjoyed the podcast, then please do follow, subscribe, and leave a review. And the podcast is now available to watch on YouTube as well. So you can see Mel and I having a chat if you're a watcher rather than a listener. I'll be back again next week with another great guest. Mel, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
Let me just